Maskata kanaka ndi Tete Rasta. Welcome. My goodness, what a weekend and what a day. It's just been non-stop. Ndatozotsvagira basa. Ndakucoordinate citizen journalists of Zimbabwe. So what I have found is Tete Rasta is I'm getting a lot of influx in my inbox. I'm getting a lot of influx in my WhatsApp. People are sending me loads and loads of messages. Even people who would never ever talk to me, they are sending me lots of pictures and they're sending me lots of information. Nasinda andiri kuita history and I was listening to music. This is a Zimbabwe song. Let me just turn down the volume a little bit because I get excited when I'm playing beat. Hold on a minute. Wait for this. Okay, this is a very happy song. It's for the hunters. Inine, I'm a hunter. In case any of you don't know, Mupfurutsa is actually a Shona name that means hunters. Tiriva Vimi. So when I'm listening to this music, I'm really in my element. So this one, it's a song that is special when hunters have killed an animal. So the hunters are happy when they are happy with their meat that they have killed. So, you know, Chipembere. Ruyo rwevavhimi vanenge vakufarira kubaya nyama kwavanenge vaita, so vanenge vakuenda kumba. So I think there are so many parallels. I wanted to just come to you and really kind of share a few things that are very, very important. I'm going to be suspending all the activities that I normally do on my Facebook page. So for my friends who are non-Zimbabweans or who are not interested in the affairs of Zimbabwe, I suggest you take a sabbatical, maybe switch off any notifications from me, because over the next few days and weeks or however long it takes, I'm going to be concentrating on the affairs of my country, because my country is burning. I'm here in the UK. I'm going to be in Zimbabwe fairly soon, but whilst I'm here, I need to be in solidarity with my brothers and sisters, so that they also have an international voice. Anything and everything that I post on this page, feel free to pass it on to your friends. In time and WhatsApp, pass it around, because a lot of Zimbabweans they are using WhatsApp. So to want access to as much information as possible. We can't be selfish. Diaspora. And the Nashadrik hunter gatherers. Yes, indeed we are. So what did I want to talk about today? Last Friday I did a clip for Zim as you know, and then I usually drag it onto my own page. But I had a barrage of attacks, I had a barrage of love, and what it showed me was that Zimbabweans are, by and large, politically immature. Because what it was, I was kind of addressing the issue, Lumumba, where he'd done the F word to the president. And I was trying to say, you know, to say an F word to anybody, especially in a public forum, is not a good thing. So then people were saying, hey, you're a Zinoid, hey, you're this, that, and the other. And then I was trying to explain myself, but there are some people who've got so much invested in trying to shoot people down, they don't hear the logic or the sense. What it is, I'm a Zimbabwean. Wherever you are a Zimbabwean, the priority right now is Zimbabwe and the welfare of Zimbabwe. And now, Comrade Mandevu, Mwanawevu, Sisi Grace, we need to speak. I would love to. And Chakukandra my digits morning, inbox. In fact, they will soon be public anyway. Because my phone is being taken over by the affairs of Zimbabwe. So we shall speak on a real level. I'm all up for that. Especially kind of really progressive, so that we can move things forward. And the Lumumba sank to a low level. I know. And somebody phoned me and gave me even more detailed information. It really broke my heart. This guy has been running a certain ring which is very, 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 very bad. And I'm sure that those who were dealing with him are aware of how nasty he is. That tape that he did is just the tip of the iceberg. And it has not yet been exposed. So anyway, let's not overtake this broadcast by the Lumumba issue. Lumumba is just a small boy in the grand scheme of things. Kunema teachers who are not getting paid. I told you a few weeks ago that I got thrown off a Facebook page that I used to hang out and throw information and create controversy. I think I insulted somebody over there, but I was insulting them because they've been picking on me. I don't know why they want to pick on women, and it was really getting personal and so on. So I posted this song that was insulting them because it's by Shinso, where he's singing about What does he think about? And so it's better kurasa hunu than kurasa doro, because I believe these guys, they are high on alcohol and maybe drugs when they're posting, so they were really bang out of order. So what I've always been doing was kind of generating and stimulating discussions. I said on that group that Zimbabweans are slaves. And people didn't like it. They didn't understand. When you work for one day and you don't get paid, it's by the by. If you work for a whole week and a whole month and a whole year and 2 years, that is slavery. That is exactly what used to happen on the plantations. So we've got that happening in Zimbabwe, where the doctors, the nurses, people from the National Railways of Zimbabwe are not being paid. You can call it whatsoever you want. That is slavery. And I'll tell you what, in Zimbabwe, 3 months this, and I didn't get paid. And it's not good, because what it is you're bumping up the expenses to go to work, to look after your family and all this through your own pocket. So the government of Zimbabwe has by and large been the guilty one in this situation, and that's why people are in uproar. I said in the video on Friday that we needed to be a little bit more understanding. By that, I wasn't saying people must refrain from setting up their political parties. I was saying let's have a kind of leadership that has got a sense of decorum. Even we will be happy to be voting for them. So sometimes people have got a lot of vested interest in misunderstanding you. I don't think I would vote for anybody who's rude and vulgar. Can you imagine when they go to the United Nations and they are effing words and so on? We want a fresh leadership. We want people that actually do something and actually provide for Zimbabweans, because Zimbabweans are tired. And I believe this is the reason why Zimbabwe. You've seen me posting a lot of things saying citizen journalists. I'm still thinking about whether to create a separate page which just posts those particular things, but I'm undecided about that. So for all of those guys who are sending information, please do keep it up. In Inizangu, I'm always passionate about Zimbabwe, and I'm actually going to be allocating some time just to meddle and make sure that people receive information, especially even the controversial stuff. I am apolitical at this point. There are a lot of friends of mine who are ZANU-PF supporters. Even my guru, my mom's oldest sister, she's the only living mother that I have. When I go to visit her, kwaseke, vakasunga kaduku kawo, kane ZANU-PF and everything. And I always say to her, Mama, inda makasunga duku. Then she says, ndikasasunga andipiwe mbeu. Then I say to her, ko ningirikini ko ndikakupai mari yembeu munobvisa here? She said, no, shamwari dzangu dzese dzinosapota ZANU, saka ini ndosapota ZANU. So there's something about her that she gets from ZANU-PF. But what I wanted to really highlight today is this, that no matter who the political leaders are, they are not being mindful to what Zimbabweans need. And this is what has caused this tipping point in Zimbabwe. Am I pro-violence? No. Am I pro if you get slapped on the cheek, you turn the other cheek? Hell no, I'm not. I'm a human rights activist. So I believe that people have been provoked to a certain point and they've reached a point of no return. So in Inizangu, I'm in solidarity with them with the struggle. I hope that they're not going to burn the country down so that it knows as Syria and Egypt, because we don't want that. We have not had any spectacular infrastructure that is new since Zimbabwe became independent. So if they burn everything, Tichato it even further back than where we were. But we have to pay attention. People have been provoked and people are not happy. So I'm sure the hospitals are going to be full of casualties. You saw the last post that I put, the doctors are up in arm, the nurses are up in arm. So I think that this is an opportunity for people to work together across parties and look at how are we going to talk together, link hands, so that we can put the country first. I don't think you can go posturing. Even my neighbor, he is Muslim. Okay, so I've got a very long back garden. So they've started dumping stuff through the little, there's a gap over there where the fence fell. So what the hell are you doing? Then I heard a knock on my door just as I was setting up for this recording, and then he brought this for me. I haven't even opened it yet. I was looking at these in the shop. They are flat peaches and plums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these ones. And then he brought some salad as well, and this chapati bread, and this chicken, which smells absolutely divine. And he also brought the samosas in there. So I said to him, why are you giving me the food, Baba Wepa next door? And he said it's Ramadan, so they share things. Can you imagine? Saka, how am I supposed now to go? Did you not jamuka? Inindapiwa mastondido. Fortunately, ndanga ndadzisa ningirikini munya wangu, so I've had that. But that's really sweet. He knows that I'm Christian, but he's extending that kindness. So we know that we are all of different faiths in Zimbabwe. People have got different political persuasions. But when it comes to the interest of the country, let's find it in ourselves somehow to work together so that we can get over this hurdle. I'm hoping that the people who are power hungry and seeking political traction are not going to overshadow what's happening here, because it's about those people whose bread and butter has been compromised. My vendors, people in mining, my roads, dentists, people who are in stationary logistics, my retailers, my teachers, university lecturers, my landlords. Isusu my landlords tine dzimba kudzimba kuti akutotadza kubhadharwa because vanhu havasi kubhadharwa mari dzavo. You saw that clip that I put up, yeah, papa kamufenzi kakapfeka zvered. You must watch that. It's very satirical, but it actually makes a point that, you know, we know that the government is cash strapped, but then when we go to the bank to collect our money, they don't have money, so they give you your money in drips and drabs. So you can't pay your landlords, you can't pay your DSTV, you can't even have money for social activities. So when we are understanding, why then are they harsh on us when we can't pay things because they're not giving us the money? You see, the whole chain of command is falling apart. It's falling to pieces. Hanzina Hazel mavarwa muromo Tete Rasta ishada topopwa. So kana paine munhu ane ingenuity aishandise matactics aneighbor wangu aenda anovhara genga muromo so that they can start being compassionate to the will of the people, because if people do not feel listened to, things are going to escalate. And Jambanjaga, Mazimba, some of them have been going to South Africa, watching their South African brothers. So they know kuti kana wakuda kutsika konzi unotsika sei. So I am really saddened by the turn of events. And then again, the hunter in me is very excited, because this whole passivity has been stifling. There's a video that I put up which shows that the riot police have entered the ghetto. Eish, manzwa ere futi dzichipfurwa, maona ere blazi uyo achizvamburwa zvamusati mamboona. It's very disturbing. And I have always been one to fight for human rights abuses. You are heavy-handed. There's certain ways that even here in the West, when people were protesting, they handle them and they manhandle them, but they don't break people's will, and they don't beat them up worse than they are beating dogs. And that's exactly what I've seen in those videos. When Zimbabwe is as it should be, video footage itinayo. Those people who've been brutal, and you will suffer. There will be no escaping. That much is for sure. Second, inini I put Zimbabwe first. Kana situation ikauya kutoti ndichatosiya tumwe tunhu twandiri kuita kuti ndibatane in solidarity with my brothers and sisters, tione kuti tingabatsire sei vamwe vari kuZimbabwe. Handinowanikwa ndiripo ini. It's not even something that I'm going to be thinking about, because tane vana vari kunoku kudiaspora. My son is 16. 4 years ago, I said, let's go home. He said, no, Mom, I'm not going. And he sabotaged it. And he ended up staying. He says, there's no water all the time. And he says, there's no electricity all the time. There's no Wi-Fi. You know, those things, Chimwana Shidiki is already thinking those things through. So why should we be sitting in diaspora, accepting the status quo? What about the people that are there? And one of the things that I needed to share with you is this, that when people have been broken, they don't have the will to fight. So some people are saying Zimbabweans are so placid, Zimbabweans are such peaceful people. A lot of them have been so broken and so heartbroken, they don't have the will to fight. That's why, even though for us who are out of the country, we need to be talking to our friends, alerting them so that they can also lobby their governments, so that they can also be standing on our side. Then I don't have beef with anybody, but where there is injustice, you automatically become my enemy. Saka, today my phone is not playing ball, the charger is gone funny. I wanted to make this as an illustration. Hold on. Wait for it. This is my charger, okay?